Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. Welcome to Double E Elevating Entrepreneurs. Today I'm here with my friend Rob. He owns his own business. It's called Cre8 World, and he basically just helps create custom brands for companies, including his own, that he's going to talk about called Dumbbells and Donuts that I'm excited about. And he basically just helps you elevate your business. So whatever business you have, if you need branding done, you want accessories that are specialized to promote your business, that's exactly what he does. So Rob, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on. Like you said, if we need anything for your brand, clothing, business cards, signs, banners, all that sort of stuff, we do everything.
That's awesome. Very cool. How long have you had your business?
I've been doing it for about 5 years now.
That's awesome.
I learned how to do it with someone else.
Oh,
I kind of started it up as a side project, like it wasn't supposed to be
no
my main
way.
thing. Yeah, I started it up to like make some extra money when I first moved over here, and
Wow.
it just grew. And I was like, you know what? Why not kind
Yeah.
of go all in on it? And it's worked out so far so good.
That's so cool. So tell us more about that. I'm like very intrigued.
Yeah. I so when you move, I don't know if you ever moved to a different country.
Nope.
When you,
Visited countries, but
yeah,
never moved to another one.
when you move to another country, like whatever requirements they have is always different. I wasn't able to um, work like freely anywhere. I had like restrictions on what things I could work at, how many hours you could do, and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I have all this free time. I know how to do this design and custom stuff. Like, why not kind of just do it for my friends? Maybe try and sell some stuff on the side. Just
Yeah.
make some extra money. And I got really lucky here because people are really nice here, and so I
Are
would
they
do
not nice back home?
I don't know, like where I'm from, it's a little different. Like people just keep things to themselves, keep quiet
Okay.
and stuff. But here, everyone, like, I would make something with someone, they'd be like, "Oh, I have another friend. Could you do something for them?" Or
Yeah.
my cousin needs something. Can you help them out? And she just kept
Yeah.
growing and growing like that. And I didn't really have to put any like paid ads out or anything
Mhm.
like that. Started up like a social media so people could tag me and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, just everyone being nice and putting my name out there. Like, thank you, everybody. You
Yeah.
really helped me out. And now I'm like taking it really seriously, and it's I just see so much like potential in what I can do. I can see the steps for where I can go next,
That's
and how I can turn it even bigger. So I'm like just really excited, just on my
Yeah.
path now.
That's so cool. So you said you started originally with a friend, right?
No. I just
Oh,
I learned how to do it in
learned how to
England,
do it.
like
Okay.
all the customization, using different programs, like different
Cool.
processes of how to make stuff. So that was back in England, and that guy, he's a genius. Like he knows how to customize pretty much anything. Like you bring it
That's so
in.
cool.
We did so many random things. So it's like every day was a different learning experience on like, oh, what can we do with this, or how
Oh,
would we do this.
wow.
So I learned all these different things, and then I started doing it, and then one of the reasons I think why people put my name out there as well is because they've always had another guy that could do something, but they can't do it to the level that I can, or that I learn how to do it. And I was
Mhm.
surprised because I that's just what I learned, and I thought everybody did stuff that way, or
Oh,
everybody could do things like
yeah.
something. A small example would be like on hoodies, we'll do like a print on the sleeve,
Mhm.
and no, not everybody does that. And
Mhm.
some people do now, but especially like 5 years ago, not like no one really
No.
did that. And
Mhm.
so it was like, oh, well, I know how to do this normally, but for everybody else, it was like, oh, what the hell? Like, how do you,
That's
how
like,
did you do that?
wow, that's awesome. So it's a very unique skill set. What is some of the craziest stuff you've ever personalized?
A lot of, we've done a lot of ones that are like inappropriate things.
Oh
Like when
no.
people come in there and say, hey, can you put this on there? And I'm like,
Okay, well,
why do you
what
want
about
to do that?
what about things that aren't like that? What about the
Um,
most unique?
we've done also. I've done. We did like a custom PlayStation. I just made it for
Oh,
myself actually. We
that's
had this
amazing.
this material, and it had like a Batman logo on, and I got my PlayStation. I was like, let me just have a little experiment and see if I could do this. And so we have like half of it I wrapped with a Batman kind of pattern of logos, and then I had like a matte black on there with the Batman logo and stuff like this, and that got a lot of attention. I should have like spoken to the people that like I don't know who owns Batman or whoever like created
that's true.
I should have showed them, but I just kind of kept it for myself, put it on social media. But that was a really cool one that I did.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I have to really just scroll through my Instagram. You'd see stuff like, oh, that was like.
What's your Instagram? Share it with
at
us.
Cre8 World. It's CRE the number 8 World.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll be sure to tag you in all of this too, so people can connect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is awesome. So tell us about your vision. Like, where do you see it going? When did you go on your own? So when you came to America is when you started on your own. Yeah. And I do it on the side. So tell us about how that process. Like, how did you scale up? What did that look like? Tell us more.
Yeah. So I just started doing it. Actually, originally I was doing it, and I was gonna make up a brand and just sell the products as a brand rather than doing it as a service. So I was just gonna, design some shirts and whatnot and sell them. But then everybody saw that I was doing it, and they were like, "Oh, could you make some stuff for me? Could you do this?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." And got a lot of attention. But my background is marketing, and originally I thought I would end up like doing a corporate job. Doing marketing for somebody else, but then I was like, well, I'll just use that to my advantage and use it for myself and my customers. And I realized like probably the thing that I'm more interested in doing is like working with brands, making them look cool, helping them grow. Like most people, they have like their company, but they don't have everything else that looks the same around it. So getting everything set so it's one logo, one kind of color scheme, one look, rather than having like your business cards are designed in one place, your clothing's designed somewhere else, and it doesn't all fit together. And I like to bring all of that stuff together. So every company I work with, hopefully we do a great job for them, and they grow and they remember that we help them grow. So they'll stay with us. So like as every company that I work with grows, I'm going to grow as well. And each company is a project that I can show like, hey, we work with these guys, and we could do the same for your business. And each one I bring on, that elevates my brand as well. So
absolutely. Yeah.
That's how I grow. And then eventually I'll be doing more and more things in more places with more people, and hopefully just be super rich, and that'll be amazing.
Yes, you'll definitely get there. That's so cool. So you're basically helping people streamline their business so it's organized, clean cut. They've got a clear brand that people can see. So you're helping with branding, so you have multiple things, not just even designing, but you're also like almost mentoring or guiding them along the path of, hey, let's make it look clear, clean cut. Let's make it the same and consistent, because people like consistency.
Yeah.
And then they can recognize that brand. And so it increases brand recognition, and that only helps them as well.
Yeah.
And then they get to say, hey, Rob helped me, and so that's a win-win there.
One thing I realized with working with all these brands, I'll help them, but, they are already existing brands. So they do, it's not like they're completely hopeless. Like
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're increasing their profitability and their recognition, which yields to income.
But what I can do when I work with them is I'll find things that can help them and work with them. But I also get to see exactly what they're doing behind the scenes, so I can kind of figure out what works. So it's like every company I work with is a new case study, basically. That's cool. So if I work with a gym, for example, I'll start to see what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and I build up all this experience. So when I work with another gym, I already have all the information there. I don't have to go and look into it. So like now I've been doing it for like 5 years here by myself, and in the past over in England, like I've worked with all these different industries. So near enough any industry that comes to me and is like, hey, we're starting up or we want to grow, like how do we do it? I already have a case study of another company that I've worked with, and I can be like, okay, these guys this is what they did, or
Mm-hmm.
this is what they did that didn't work, and this is what they did that did work. So you can use
Right.
that. And just kind of cuts out all the time trying to figure it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've done your research, and
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
yeah, that's huge though. I mean, in any business, you need to do research so you know what you're trying to accomplish. You know what the numbers look like. You know how you get the best results, what types of looks. All of that is very important. So especially when you look at businesses.
Yeah, it's like I did my degree at university, and you
Yeah.
do case studies there. But now, like
Uh-huh.
every day at work is the same.
case study,
I'm always
yeah.
learning and always
so
growing, which
cool.
is really good.
Yeah, that's so fun. That's awesome. So do you have a team, or is it just you by yourself right
Yeah,
now?
no, I have a team, so it's
Okay.
like there's a few of us that work with different things.
Okay.
And something that's one thing I'm trying to do as well, is get better at passing things off sometimes.
Delegating. Yeah.
Yeah, I got people that are really good at
Uh-huh.
certain things, and sometimes I like to just be involved just because I'm still excited about being there. But
Yeah.
as time goes on, it's time to just let them do their thing. I'll do
Yeah.
my thing, and hopefully bring more and more people on. Finding the right people is hard, but when you do find like the right person that's really good at what they do, like it's so good,
Yeah.
like to just know that they can do stuff and they're gonna stick around. I've had people in the past that I don't know, they just didn't get it.
Mhm.
Like they don't look at the long term
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Mhm.
I think they might regret it now when they
Yeah.
see, like they
didn't see your
what's
vision.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so important. I'm learning that so much too right now with like just developing Double E's brand and developing the clothing line that I'm coming out with, working with my designers and stuff like that. It's, sometimes I'm so thankful for them, but it's like hard to always convey exactly what you see, so it's like so important to work with the right people and people that, even if they don't see your vision right away, they're patient and they're willing to understand and tweak things until they get it, it to where to what you're seeing,
Yeah,
essentially.
that's
So
it.
it's so important to have a healthy, good team and a good relationship with people that you're working with and you're building with, because that's what's going to define your business. And so
Yeah.
it's very vital.
I kind of see it like I always use this analogy, like I'm on a train, I'm like going up a mountain, and like sometimes someone's gonna get on the train, work with me for a little bit, and
Get off.
sometimes they can't go all the way up, and they have to
Yeah.
get off because they just don't see it the same way, or
Yeah.
whatever. They get off, and I just carry on going. So it's
They've
like
got another destination.
yeah, there's no like ill will to them. or
Yeah,
anything. It's just I'm on
absolutely.
my train up the mountain, and some people are here, some people are for the long haul,
Yeah.
and some people just have to get off.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite sayings is some people are in your life for a season, some people are in your life for a reason, and some people are in your life for your lifetime. So it's like,
Ah,
yeah,
that's a good one. I haven't heard that one.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, it's just it's really cool because it's so true. It's like, sometimes we hurt because, people leave or, things, with a business too, I love your perspective and my perspective with it, but some people take it harder than others, right? I'm a very people-oriented person, so I'm still going to miss that person, but it doesn't mean that they weren't there when you needed them or you
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
there when they needed you.
Yeah.
So there's always, some reason looking back on, why they were there at that time in your business or your life. And so it's just good to remember.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's like a movie. There's
it
like
helps.
different
Yeah.
characters and stuff
yes,
like that.
it's
yeah.
true. Yeah,
I like
life
that.
is a moving picture.
Honestly.
It really is. So that's awesome. But that's actually why I love photography too, because you'll keep capture those memories, capture who you're working
Yeah.
with. You always have that. So that's so cool. So tell us about what are your favorite things to create?
The thing I get most excited about is the new brands.
Okay.
Working with an established brand, they kind of have their way of doing things. They're set. They might tweak things here and there, but they're kind of in their spot, and that's it.
Okay.
But if you have a new brand, it's like so full of energy. Like it's
Yeah.
ready to go, and there's so many possibilities and avenues you could go down, and I really like exploring that, trying to figure out which is the best path, kind of going down there, seeing what happens, and that's how I kind of try to see my brand. Even though I've been around and I'm somewhat established, I still try to keep that energy all the time because I'm not done. I'm not happy
Oh,
where I'm at.
yeah.
I'm trying to keep going up. But
You're still building.
yeah, but when I get to work with those those new brands, they're so excited and they're ready to go. And I like
Yeah.
kind of use some of that energy for myself and keep it going.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite type of thing. And then the other ones is always the ones where it's something that's really cool to show visually. One of my customers, Steven Peterson, he's Fight Fit Lifestyle, but he's
Oh,
also
yeah.
a UFC fighter. And I started working with him. He wasn't in the UFC, you know,
No,
and he's
that's
working
cool.
his way up, and
Yeah.
he's got in there. He's got like a bunch of like highlights in the UFC, but his brand's growing and stuff as well. And just seeing all of that go together. So he was already established when I worked with him, but he's growing and all these cool things are happening around him. Those
Yeah.
things are really cool as well.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So yeah, I mean that makes sense because like if it's a an established brand, it's more like you're fine tuning it, right? And then when it's something new, you can definitely be creative with them, which I bet is a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So and they probably want your input more because they're building and they're wanting your creative ideas and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They're more open and receptive to that. So
Exactly. Anything different, that's exciting. I work with someone at the moment as well. Her name's Claire, and she's bringing out a book.
oh cool.
And I'm doing a lot of things that I've never done before with that as well. Like we're doing like a book cover,
Cool.
working with like different companies that are endorsing her and kind of building the whole
Nice.
launch of a book. It's the first time I've ever like been a part of something like that, so that's exciting.
That's cool.
Just those sort of projects, they're always exciting and fun, you know,
Yeah.
and not to take away from my regular customers that just get stuff like as a standard. You know, they kind of keep things going.
Yeah.
The other ones are just different, so it's a bit more exciting.
Is she the one that you're mentioning did something with Red Bull or something like that?
Yeah. So she has an
Okay.
endorsement with Monster.
Or Monster.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Can't
that's why you've got a Monster.
Cut out the other brand. We're just
Yeah,
all
sorry.
Monster.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome. So how did you come up with the name Create World? Like, I know it's a play in the word, right? That's pretty cool.
That one I can't take any credit for at all.
Okay.
It's the guy in England.
Oh.
His store is called Cre8 World.
Okay.
That's where I started working, and when I moved here, we kind of just came to an agreement, like,
Oh,
because he's
yeah.
not in America at all, you know,
Yeah.
and he was like, well, let's just share the
The
name,
name.
and
That's cool.
you know, just keep going with that, and
Yeah.
just build it up, basically.
That's cool.
So
So,
I did
are
that.
you guys in a way like partners, or is it just more an agreement with the name?
It's just kind of an agreement because, like, I mean, we're
Okay.
still really
Friends.
close,
Yeah.
and there's not anything that I'm gonna do here that's gonna take away
Bother his
from
business.
him,
Yeah,
and
jeopardize
same
it.
that way.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like helps us both out.
That's cool.
We get to share like we already have all the logo files and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. We don't have
That's
to.
awesome.
Yeah.
It made it easier for you.
Yeah, for me a lot. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
but
awesome.
he's happy with it. And
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Well, tell us about Dumbbells and Donuts. Show
yeah,
off that shirt.
that one.
Let's see it.
This I don't know. Where's
Oh,
the-
mask. It's a mask. Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know where the camera.
The
is.
camera? No, it's okay. It's
Oh.
recording this way, so you
Oh,
can just show
okay.
it to me. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Dumbbells and Donuts just
Yeah.
kind of happened by chance.
Okay.
Seeing as I can make custom clothing, I make all sorts of things for myself. Made a shirt up. I just kind of got an idea for a design. Made it up, and it was really weird that I would go out, and every time I wore that shirt, I would get a comment on it, and all sorts of places, at the post office, racetrack, like just in the gym, like, everywhere. Like, and I was like, this is odd, you know,
Yeah.
like, why is so many people commenting on this one shirt? And I was like, you know what, let's use it as an opportunity. You know, obviously I have a good idea here. So let me turn it into a brand and see what I can do with it. I have all the capabilities of building a brand. I do it every day. I have all of the materials here. Let me just create some other designs, make a logo, social media page, all of that stuff, and kind of got it started. And it's just been getting lots of attention. And I'm
cool.
kind of, I don't want to take it super serious. I always try to make sure everything in my life is fun, you know, like I
Yeah.
want to enjoy stuff, so I'm not like stressing about it at all. Like
Yeah.
sometimes if I don't get any sales for like a couple weeks on it, like that's fine. I don't care. But then sometimes I'll get a lot of sales with it, and I just put it out on there. Spoke to a couple of my friends that would be interested. Actually, I got quite lucky. I put it out at a great time with one of my friends. His name's Mike, and he was entering his first bodybuilding competition.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and he's like, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Dumbbells and Donuts is kind of my lifestyle. I work out, and
Okay.
I don't care about the diet stuff.
Okay.
But he's also along that same.
Oh, really?
those
Even as a
same lines.
bodybuilder?
Yeah. So when you're doing bodybuilding, like
Huh.
the actual competition, okay, you have to be strict on your
Right,
diet
sure.
for that sort of stuff. But the rest of the year, he's with me. Like he's always eating like cinnamon rolls, donuts, all that sort of
Wow.
stuff. I sent it over to him to see what he thought of it. He loved it, and I was like, well, let's like work together. I'll give you some merch. Like just wear it at your thing. We'll get like a discount code so you can promote it, and so that was a great starting point. Basically,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
brought it out. 2 months later, I've got Mike doing his bodybuilding competition. I think he won one, at least one. I think he won two
That's
of
awesome.
the competitions that he entered. So that looked great. I got a bunch of attention on social media, just hashtags and stuff all over the world. I had a cage
All over the
fighter
world,
in Mexico
wow.
message me
Well,
about it.
hashtags got a lot of attention. Just the Dumbbells and Donuts?
Yeah, I mean, I put like cheat days and hashtag like stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a
Guilty
cage.
pleasures.
yeah, all little things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had someone, Instagram models in Australia, CrossFit people in France, people in
wow.
America, someone actually from the next town along from where I grew up in England reached out to me. I didn't know
That's
them,
so
but
crazy.
I looked at their bio and I was like, oh, you're from where I used to live, and
That's crazy.
so I got all this attention, and then so I was just kind of riding the wave with that, and I was gonna go to all these events last year, but they all got shut down. So I was set up for last summer. I was gonna be going to a bunch of events. I had them all mapped out. Dallas Donut Festival.
What?
Yeah,
That exists?
Yeah, it exists. Yeah, I think it's like 2 or 3 years in now.
Okay.
And so I was going to be there. I had some things in San Antonio, Austin. There's a bigger one in Dallas called Europa.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
familiar with that one.
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that one. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not. But yeah, everything started getting shut down. And I was like, okay, well, this sucks, because I could have definitely grown the brand a lot more over that summer, because I hadn't done anything other than just social media at that point. So being out with everybody, that would have been great. So I kind of rolled it back a bit. I'm still like creating a bunch of content for it, but I haven't gone all out. I'm kind of sitting on a bunch of content. I have files with stuff and designs just ready.
I got you.
As soon as everything opens back up, it's kind of ramp up a little bit. But yeah, that's
cool.
There's still a lot of good merch on there right now as well. It's on Instagram, Dumbbells and Donuts Official.
Okay, so is it a separate business from Cre8 World?
Yeah, so it's both me working on it.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But
Is it two
technically
entities though,
yeah,
or
it's
okay?
both separate.
Separate. Okay.
Yeah, at the moment.
Okay, very cool. That's exciting. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm actually transitioning to an LLC pretty soon, so that'll be fun.
A lot of paperwork.
Yeah. And lawyers
Yeah.
and like it's fun, but like I have a great lawyer. He's awesome. So yeah, he's easy to work with, and that makes it a lot easier. So
Yeah,
he knows what to
all
do.
that stuff, all the
Yeah.
paperwork stuff. I'm like, I mean, I do it. Like everyone has to do it.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of work.
Yeah, but that's not fun, you know.
No, but once it's done, and I'll be like, whew,
Yeah.
I'm good to go. Yeah, so I can just hit the ground running again. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. So what are your visions? I know things are different. You know, we've had to evolve as a world, as a culture. I don't think things are really going to go quote unquote back to normal. So with our new normal, what are your visions growing both of your brands? What does that look like?
Well, I was looking back, I was really thankful, and I was like glad actually, because I know everyone's been struggling in the past year and stuff, but my business it had a quick blip. The first couple of weeks things shut down, but after that I kind of adapted a little bit, and everybody carried on ordering stuff, so I didn't really take too much of a hit. You know, we do things like sell face masks now, like adapt and do things like that, which maybe I'll take a little bit of credit for that, but knowing that my brand is kind of not going to be affected by that sort of things gives me a lot of confidence to keep pushing it out. The Dumbbells and Donuts one, I'll just kind of wait till people are social a bit more. But yeah, with Cre8, it's just keep it going, keep it growing. I have something I want to do. I'm not going to put it out in the world right yet.
Okay.
But
stay tuned.
Yeah, something I'm working on probably for the middle of the year, which
okay.
will be a big step up for the company, and kind of just I'm doing really well here, and I'm like nowhere near at the peak of what I can do just in this area.
Yeah.
So, you know, just carry on growing in this area, and then, you know, just keep working my way out. And every day for me is fun, is exciting, and I'm just happy to do it. Like, so I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. I'm just kind of just letting everything grow and just enjoying the journey, basically.
That's so important. And that's important, I think, for a lot of entrepreneurs to remember, because we are so goal-oriented people, and we're so ambitious and we want to do so much. But I think it's so important to just, like, embrace the journey. And a lot of us, you know, sometimes get so caught up we forget that. And I love that you keep that in the forefront of your mind, because, you know, life goes by fast. And so appreciate where your business is at. And be thankful, because, you know, it's going to keep growing, and you're going to look back and be like, wow, should have been happier when I was there, you know? And if you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy when you get there, because you're always going to want more. So it's really important to, like, just, like, enjoy it as you go.
Yeah,
so
that's it. I try some of my customers, I do try to help them out with that, but I think part of it is because of not being from here. Like,
more appreciation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty set on, like, my paperwork of being here and stuff like that, but you never know. Like, there could be a moment where they just say, okay, no more immigrants are here, like, we have to get rid of them all. And so
oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen. I love culture. I would be very depressed.
But I guess that's part of why I'm like, you know, I could lock myself in a room for a year and maybe I have like $1 million, but then the next day when I go outside is the day they decide to kick all of the English people out or something like that, and I would have wasted all that time. You know? So I'm like, well, you know, if I get to my goal a little slower, but I enjoy every day, then I'll be happy.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a location, or, like, are you operating out of your house? Or, like,
at the moment, so I just moved. So we just kind of, everything's a little bit all over the place at the moment. With the stuff that I'm trying to do later on in the year, I should have a huge spot.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll see.
But you're not mentioning it all right now. You caught yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on that. That's exciting. So when people want to meet with you, consult with you, kind of have things organized where they want to accomplish a vision, a goal, and just you kind of consult with them and then go from there?
Yeah. What I do like to do a lot is I like to actually go to their business.
Nice. Okay.
Because, I mean, one, for them it's easier, right? I can get to save them time that they would have to travel somewhere. But if I can get in your store or your location and kind of look around and stuff, I can see so many different opportunities, things you could do that you may not have thought about. You know, I'll walk in and be like, hey, you got all this extra space here. Why don't we make like a little merch stand here? Like, where's your merch right now? Oh, just in a closet. Like,
oh, that's horrible.
Well, let's you know,
gotta fix that.
Let's make something where people can see it. You know, they can come in and be like, oh, you actually have merch. We didn't even know, and then they'll buy it. So little things like that. I like doing that, and it's also makes my day more interesting because I'm not in the same place. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
that's true.
I get to move around and see different things. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit for me, a little bit for them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is interesting. I love that too, like just seeing it and like just getting the energy that they have, kind of
Yeah.
feeling like their personality, how they work. Like I think you probably get a lot of good intel from that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's really helpful. That's cool. I love that. That's like very unique. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So who are some people that inspire you like in your realm, like that you look up to? Other
When
creators?
I was younger,
Mhm.
I was a huge fan. Maybe it's a bit of a random one, but
Okay.
Pharrell Williams.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
So I don't know why, like I got drawn to him. Like music, it's cool. Some of the a lot of the songs I like, some of them I don't like. But he was just doing all this other stuff, and he has, I don't know if you're aware of this stuff, but he has some brands, Billionaire Boys Club, Ice Cream.
That's his?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
He works with a brand called Bape, or Bathing Ape. And I was big into that.
What is that one?
It's a Japanese brand.
Okay.
I don't really know how to describe it. It's a little random.
Okay.
It's like a hype beast type thing, and Supreme.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
But it's been around a while, and he was working with them, and
Okay.
so I looked into it more and more about like what sort of stuff he was doing. I just found out that he just worked with like so many different brands, just collaborating on things. Like at some point he was like a creative director for Adidas.
Yeah.
He was doing stuff with them.
That's
and
impressive.
Not many people even know about that.
No.
He's been on all the TV shows. Like I think he was a judge on one of those.
Oh yeah.
The Voice, I think it
Yeah.
was. But he works with. There was a brand he worked with. I don't remember what they were called, but they do furniture. They were doing like tables and chairs and stuff like that. And it's like why would why would a furniture brand work with someone like Pharrell Williams that makes music? And I just thought it was so cool the way he could like work with all these different
Very
people.
versatile.
Yeah. And kind of put his spin on stuff, and I really like that. So I guess
cool.
now I'm saying it, I'm like,
Yeah.
that kind of is what I do. Like, I work with all different types of brands every day on different
Yeah.
things, maybe in a
Yeah.
different way, but
Yeah.
so I probably took a lot from that. He was a good one. We do all sorts of case studies at university about different entrepreneurs and stuff, so I probably took a little bit from all different types of people, a lot of English ones.
Okay.
Alan Sugar, Richard Branson.
Oh, Richard Branson, yeah.
Yeah, people. I guess probably the main thing I've noticed with them is they all do multiple things.
Yeah.
There's entrepreneurs that just have their one business
Sure.
and do that, but I guess I'm drawn to the ones that do a lot
Same.
of different things. 'Cause, I guess that's more exciting for me.
Same.
Different projects all the time, and being
Serial
able to,
entrepreneurship.
being able to switch between things and just be like, what do I want to work on today?
Yeah.
I like that sort of thing.
Makes life fun. I love
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
And then it's way more interesting.
Yeah,
so.
that was looking back at originally I thought I was gonna have like that marketing corporate job.
Oh yeah.
And now looking back, I'm so glad I didn't.
I know.
I didn't end up doing that.
So much better.
Yeah.
I've done corporate. It's not my thing
Really?
at all. No.
I heard some.
I'm too
some
creative.
stories.
It's very difficult. I
Yeah.
don't like being put in a box.
Yeah, you go to the same place at the same time every day, and
So repetitive.
yeah.
It just like dulls your creativity and like sucks the life force out of
Oh,
you.
no.
Like why? And then you have ideas and they're like, no, we do it this way, and you're like, oh, why am I
Oh,
here?
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
good that you're doing your own thing now as
Oh,
well. Like,
absolutely.
you got out of it. You escaped.
Yeah, got to get out. Yeah, life's too short. It's like there's so much to be done in the world, and I have so much to offer, and it's just being lost if it's there. So.
Yeah. I think the other thing with that as well, when you're excited about stuff, it's not 9 to 5. You don't get excited about things 9
I
to 5.
work at random times.
Yeah, so you go and sit somewhere 9 to 5 and you're not feeling it.
No,
And
and it's a
then-
lot of hours to work straight too.
Yeah, and then at 8 p.m. you get like hit with some motivation to do something. Then you're conflicted because you're like, well, I want to do it now, but I'm not getting paid for it at this time. So
Yeah.
I'll wait till the morning and I'll do it then, and then you've lost it. You know?
Yeah.
Now, if you do your own thing,
Yeah.
you know, if you don't, if you're not feeling it
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, you can kind of do a little bit, but then if you suddenly get the urge in the evening, you can just dive into it because it's your thing, and you're gonna make some progress on it.
Oh yeah, I've had countless nights where I'm up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, like just ideas just keep coming and
There you
coming,
go.
and I'm just like embracing it, and I'm like, oh man, I need sleep, but I'm like, but this is so good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe now that like people are looking at things differently with the pandemic. I know people are changing things up like corporately as well, like work from home and how they operate. So hopefully they start to change the way of doing that as well, because I feel like there's a lot of people doing corporate stuff that are kind of struggling and like
It's true.
could benefit from having a bit more of a open schedule
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
I agree. That's so cool. So, I was going to ask you, what is something you would like to work on that you haven't done yet or nobody's asked you to do?
Two things that I've had for a while in my mind that were things I would like to do. The first being something on TV.
Okay.
Like a TV ad and stuff. So I've had like my merch
Cool.
has been on TV and stuff. You know, like,
No
like
way.
I said.
Tell us about that.
Well, like the UFC fighter Steven
Okay.
Peterson. You know,
Yeah.
he's been on pay-per-view and he's been on all these UFC things, and sometimes he's not allowed to wear his own merch because he has
Sure.
the sponsorships and
Sure.
stuff. But then there's like the fans in the crowd and stuff. They'll be wearing stuff. So they're cool moments. But I've never.
Wow, yeah. How
directly
did you
had a-
feel like when that first
Oh,
happened?
it was so cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, 'cause
crazy.
especially
That's
with-
got to be surreal.
Yeah, with his stuff, I watch UFC anyway. My cousin was also in
Okay.
the UFC.
Oh, nice. Who's your
so-
cousin?
His name's Bradley Scott. He was on the show called The Ultimate Fighter, and they offered him a contract, and
Okay.
so he was in there, and I'm just a fan of it.
Yeah.
So like I know all the people in there, and I'm like, oh, he's like standing right next to this guy, and this guy. I don't know if you know about it, like Dana White. He's like one of the heads of it, and he's worth like well, they sold the UFC, and he's got like hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff, and you know, there's
Must be nice.
my merch is like right next to him. So that was a cool moment. But there was there hasn't been one that I've worked like solely on that's on TV, you know. So that's one I would like to be a part of, something that's on TV or a movie or something like that.
That'd be cool.
in some
Just like
sort of way.
displaying your merch, or
I'm not sure exactly how it would work. Just
Okay.
kind of depends what customer or what thing comes my way. But just to be like involved in a project that's
okay,
on
maybe
TV.
helping create it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, it could be
Yeah.
anything like that. That would be a big one. And then this one, even though I don't really feel like they're great marketing things anymore, but billboards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to see something up on a billboard, like
That'd be awesome.
I
have that
done it.
image too, like, because I do
Yeah.
photography and videography too. I'm like, that'd be so cool.
I've half done it with the customer. I worked on their logo, and I did some sort of some stuff for like flyers and digital pieces, and they used those pieces to make the billboard. But I didn't
Cool.
like necessarily create the billboard design myself, but they used some of my stuff on the billboard, and I saw it and I didn't really realize for a second. I was like, wait a minute, that was from my computer screen, and so that was cool. But like,
Yeah.
you know, I would like to have like a proper one. Maybe I'll just buy a billboard at some point, just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Just to kind of check that off the list. So
That'd be cool.
those are the two things that are, you know, they may not be the smartest goals in terms of like growing your business or numerical and stuff, but it's like an
The
achievement.
dreams. Yeah.
Those are like little moments that are maybe a bit more important than just making
Yeah.
a couple extra dollars, you know?
Yeah, that is so cool. Is there anyone specifically in the Dallas area that you'd love to do work for?
Everyone. Bring them all. Come on
Yes.
down. I used to play basketball.
Okay.
Growing up, I played at a pretty decent level, to be honest. I
Okay.
played in different countries. I played with pros and stuff.
Wow. Okay.
So so I
Jack of all
probably
trades.
that was like before all of this
Oh
stuff.
my
That was
gosh.
just and that's part of I was playing all the time. So
Mm.
you put that much time into it,
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna get better, and that's kind of what I use for my business as well now. Like the more time you put into it, the more
Moti-
you're
yeah,
gonna get out
same
of it.
mindset.
Yeah, but probably being able to do something with Mark Cuban or the Mavs or something
Oh,
that
that'd be awesome.
now that I'm here,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
out of all NBA owners and stuff, Mark Cuban seems like one of the coolest.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I agree. I follow him on TikTok.
Oh, he has a TikTok.
Yes.
That's something I need to get. I'm trying to
He
get
does.
a
I
TikTok
have
for
one
Dumbbells
too.
and Donuts, but I
Yeah.
haven't really messed with it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a bit slow to the TikTok game, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine Mark
Yes.
Cuban having anything interesting. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it. I
Okay.
haven't checked it recently, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'd love to work with him too. Have him on the podcast or something would be
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that'd be great.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
probably
does.
one that I
It's
would
funny. You
imagine.
should check it out.
Yeah, well, I need to download it first.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll be on there at some point.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, probably him. Other than that, I don't discriminate. Anybody,
Yeah.
anybody and
Come
everybody.
one, come all.
Yeah, we'll help you out.
Rob's Cre8 World Circus.
Yeah, we're versatile.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what are some so people that are wanting to get into something similar that are listening in? What are some programs that you like to use? What are some that you found weren't as effective? What do you recommend people utilize? Do you have ones that you're looking into that are new? I know stuff's always evolving in the creative fields. There's
Yeah.
always new versions and things like that. But for someone getting started, what do you recommend? And then for someone more advanced, what is there certain things that you think
things
are better?
have technology's crazy that it just evolves so quick, like you said. But what the main thing I use is Illustrator. That gives you the best base for files and designs. Even if you don't work with me and you work with someone else on making something, they're usually going to ask if you have an Illustrator file or a vector file is
Right.
what Illustrator gives you. So I use that one. This is the one I learned.
Okay.
I'm sure there's other programs that do vectors as well.
Right.
That
And
are just
quick
as
side
good.
note for the listeners, vectors are important because they help you change the size of the image without distorting it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so you can scale it up to as big as you
or
want.
down
Yeah.
or whatever you need to do without it being distorted or
Yeah,
weird.
Exactly, because it might look nice and sharp on your screen, but it might be like an inch big, and you need it 10 inches big. So when you blow it up and you put it on a shirt or a flyer or something like that, it's blurry and it's got a little weird border around of squares. But yeah, so I use that. To be honest, maybe this is a bit boomer-ish of me, but I'll probably stick with that for a long time because it's what I know and I can use it so quick now. But I know nowadays there's so many even free ones that you can get online. You don't even have to download a software. You just go on the website and just start using their stuff. But I'll probably just stick with what.
Okay.
So I'll take things if I see something and I'm like, okay, I can't do that with Illustrator or I can't do that with Photoshop, then I'll use something else and I'll adapt to it and stuff. But there's at the moment there's really nothing's really popped up that's like, oh, I can't make that in Illustrator or I can't use Illustrator for this. So until that point comes, I'll stay as a boomer.
Okay. So are you a Mac user?
No.
Yeah, Apple?
No.
PC?
Yeah, I use PC.
Okay. I'm actually starting to like PC better too.
Yeah, I don't know about.
I don't know why. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm
I like the touch screen on mine, to be honest.
Oh, really? I don't even have one of those.
Love touch
Yeah.
screen. But it's because I edit podcasts, so I can literally go in and I can touch the exact segment, delete.
Oh,
It's amazing.
yeah.
And then with images, it's so cool.
I've got really used to using just a trackpad on a laptop.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'm weirdly good at that.
Okay.
Sometimes I use a mouse for
Yeah.
the small details and stuff like that. But for the most part, I use that. But yeah,
That's cool.
I don't know when like Macs were coming in,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought they were like different for the sake of being different.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't need to have the X to close the thing. Why does it need to be on the other side? And little
Right.
things like
Right.
that. I was
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not buying into the hype of that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
Yeah.
they're good. They're good computers, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been using my Windows computer and thought, oh,
Yeah.
I need a Mac for this. Like,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, I don't really believe that it's
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, I agree. So do you use for when you print your shirts and stuff, are you using like a Cricut or
No, I have some other equipment. Cricket's so decent for if you're making one shirt
smaller?
for yourself
Okay.
or something like that. But I have all different machines for different processes. You know,
Cool.
we have vinyl, we have inked shirts, we have like screen print stuff.
Wow.
Like we use all different types of things. Depending on what the shirt is gonna look like,
Mm-hmm.
what how many they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making a shirt for yourself or your kids or something like that, crickets are fine. You know? And
But
and they're
higher, if
fun.
they're trying to build a business, they need to invest in different
For
equipment.
if you're trying to work a business properly and get high production levels faster, more efficient, and stuff like that. Because when you're making hundreds or thousands of shirts, like every second is potentially money. You know what I mean? You divide it out about how many shirts you're making and stuff, and you're like, okay, well, I need this to go quicker. I need this to be more efficient. I need it to be easier. Where can I save a bit of time here? Then you're gonna need to get some better equipment, basically.
Oh yeah, I'm learning that as like a solopreneur right now.
Yeah.
Like time is so important, and I'm like, how can I make this more efficient and effective? Like, how can I streamline this process? And like, just little things like that. That's why I'm on the search for my own studio right now, because like I'm super thankful for us renting out this podcast suite today, but I'd much rather have my own, because then I'm in control and I can make efficiencies. I can tweak things. Like, I'm like, I like this, I don't like this. When I'm utilizing someone else's space, I don't have any say. And so for me, I'm super creative, so I want to make it a fun studio, bright, and things like that.
That's what I was going to say.
So,
I bet you can.
I have a huge vision for it. I have crazy visions for my future, and
these
for
ones are going to be,
professional, clean cut.
By design, you have to be pretty standard and basic.
Oh, not at mine. It is going to be awesome. People are going to love it, because I'm talking to entrepreneurs, and so I want it to be a fun, energetic environment. And I think the more creative, the more people will love it and want to be there.
Yeah, I think it will help to like let people like see stuff they're more familiar with, feel a bit more comfortable, loosen up a bit. And then when you're
warmer environment.
And then when you're producing it and putting it up online for people to watch as well, because if it's like a bare bones
It's cool.
room, it's stuff
something fun to look at.
Exactly. So I'm excited for seeing what you come up with that.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I've been touring places all week. On my YouTube this week, I'll be putting up some stories and some videos that you guys will see about me touring and saying, oh, they're looking at a new potential place for Double E Studios, and looking around, and so that's pretty exciting. But that's awesome. So I know moving here was probably a big change, and like developing a business and things like that. What are some tips that you have for people that are making a big move like you did, or maybe not making such a huge move, but maybe transitioning from corporate to their own business? Are there any things that you wish you had known, like looking back?
I think the main thing is this may be like a character trait of myself, but I'm pretty I'm thorough with my planning and stuff. So I will make like big decisions, big moves and stuff, which they seem a little rash, like, hey, I'm doing this, but like before I say it and put it out into the world, I've done so much behind the scenes stuff, like I've thought about it, I've sat and wrote everything down, I've like ran my numbers and been like, okay,
oh wow,
on a low, if things go terribly, this is how it's going to work out. If things go amazing, this is how it's going to work out. And you'd assume it would be somewhere in the middle of that, hopefully.
So you work scenarios.
Yeah, so I just run all these different options and avenues of how things could go, figure all that stuff out, and then I be honest with myself, like, okay, this is a real possibility, or maybe this one's not for right now. Let me
Okay.
wait. Even I have this thing I'm working on I'm hopefully gonna bring out later on in the year. But I have other businesses I want to bring out. I already have a business plan written out for them, and it's like
No way.
I've
That's
written it out,
awesome.
and it's just there. And some of the numbers will change just by like how the world works. But as soon as the right time comes along, I'm already prepared. So if I was to meet someone that was trying to make a similar plan, I might just jump in and work with them on that. And
That's cool.
from the outside, that might look like a rash decision. Oh, you've just jumped.
But you've
into
thought about it.
Yeah, but I already have the plan there.
You're like, I have these scenarios. Okay.
It's kind of ready to go. It's just
Yeah.
when the moment comes,
Right.
I'll be ready.
Oh,
So,
you're like me. I've got so much right
Yeah,
now.
so
So
that-
are you very professional? Like have an organized business plan, and you've got a spreadsheet and numbers, and like before you opened up, Create World and started with the Dumbbells and Donuts, do you have like everything laid out?
Sometimes yes, sometimes it's just like notes on pieces of paper.
Mine just says on
you
piece of
know?
paper, and my
Yeah.
dad gets so frustrated with me. He's like, you're not like, because he's very corporate and traditional. He's like,
Yeah.
and he's an engineer by trade, so he's like, I need a black and white.
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain, creative people don't think like that. Like I'm just
No.
like things everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I did
So-
marketing at university, and
Yeah.
I did the English school system is a little different. So we have university. Before that, we had college.
So
and
interesting.
yeah, so I did business there. So like, I've been doing business classes
Yeah.
for like 10 years or something.
Wow.
So I'm used to doing it the right way. And,
Okay.
and, like
Yeah, I've never learned the right way.
the Excel spreadsheets and all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. But then when it's my own thing, sometimes I know, okay, I'm not showing this to anybody else. So I don't need to make it look like corporate. I can just write it down on a piece of paper.
Right.
I know what I'm looking at, and
Right.
that'll work. But
Yeah.
so basically, I'm thorough with my like kind of planning about things.
Well, just like you said, you did research earlier.
Yeah.
How do you do your research? Like, are you just writing notes down too, and what do you look
Yeah.
at?
So I guess I'm pretty observant when I'm out and about. So I'll see things. If for example, if I see another company that does marketing or printing and stuff, I'll take a look at what they have. See what they're doing. See what they're doing differently. See if I can use that. But if it's a new business that I haven't set up yet, then I'll look into it a little bit more and try to figure out like no, let's say for example, say I was going to open up a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I might just go to another restaurant that's similar and look around, but I'll note down, hey, there was 20 people in here.
Yeah.
Let's assume that their tabs were this much.
Yeah.
Multiply that by how many hours they're open and how many in
Yeah.
a week, and kind of like really get into the details of what those numbers could be. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so maybe I could expect about this much.
Yeah.
It's a bit nerdy, but
That's cool.
being thorough, then you're kind of ready.
Yeah, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
That's how you grow, because you need to know what's happening.
Yeah, and you just keep your
Yeah.
eyes open for opportunities, and when they come around, you're already ready.
Yeah.
And like I said, it looks rash, but
Yeah.
you've already done the behind the scenes work, so there's no need.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell everyone you're doing the behind the scenes work at
Yeah,
first.
you just do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I
It's worked for
love
me.
it. Well, is there anything else you want to share with anybody? Any words of encouragement or tips?
Yeah, just this past year has been a bit. It's kind of shown there's no safe option.
Right.
I think one of the big things people say against entrepreneurs is like maybe take a safe
Yeah.
safe avenue, get a corporate job,
Yeah.
right? And last year especially shows that those corporate jobs are not so safe. There's a lot of people that had nice, comfortable jobs that are now in a tough spot, and in comparison, there's entrepreneurs that have been able to pivot to situations, adapt, and keep the ball rolling. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to do something a little bit different.
I agree.
Yeah, so just back yourself on that. If you have an idea, just maybe go for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love that. I love that tip.
Yeah.
I think it's so smart. But yeah, you guys keep pushing. If you guys are thinking about starting a business, definitely go for it. You know, there's no better opportunity than the present. And you guys stay tuned for our next episode of Double E Elevating Entrepreneurs.